Skyhaven review. This is my review of the video game Skyhaven. This is an airport tycoon business management game. So what you're going to do is you're going to build your airport. Then you're going to sign contracts with airlines. They will land their planes. And you will sign contracts with fuel suppliers, for example, who will deliver fuel. You will build all of your support structures, which include waste, catering, cleaning, refueling, etc. You build the pads, you build the runways, you build the roads connecting everything. You build a terminal, and you build all these support buildings which support certain pads, and you build the towers. There's a research tree, and there is a schedule, which is right here. These are all the planes that are going to land. And I chose a schedule. I picked which pad they were going to have and what time they were going to land. So there's some things about the game is nice. I'm glad I bought it. I had a tycoon game 20 or 30 years ago. I've waited a long time to be able to buy one. Wasn't happy with the other ones out there. Maybe it was on the Commodore Amiga that I last had one. The problems that I have with this game. Number one, there's a limited number of contracts. I have enough pads for all the contracts, and I've got all this empty space over here that I can't have no reason to build on. No plane will ever land on any of those pads because I've exhausted all the contracts. I'm sorry that the mouse moves around very slowly, so it's hard to see where the contracts are. Here it is. They're all on level 5, and if I remove the ones that are already signed, there's nothing new. One thing I don't like about the game is the interface is okay. It's very slow moving the mouse around. One of the problems is that I don't have enough workers. So you've got these buildings. Here's one right here. I guess maybe I can't. It's not. Okay. So you have to add vehicles that, in this case, we got 4 shuttle buses, but there's only one worker. And that one worker can only drive one bus. And I can't hire more workers. I've reached the maximum. Why did they do it that way? I mean, I want more workers, and I should be able to hire as many people as I want. What good is it to have all this if it can't be used? There's a small number of issues with the gameplay. If a pad is busy, for example, it didn't finish refueling, the planes will just wait and they'll back up. They won't go to another pad. All these planes are just waiting, not doing anything because something is stuck somewhere. So that happens. The other thing I don't like is that you can build different types of surfaces. You see you've got grass, tarmac, concrete, and asphalt. I built my entire airport, and by the time you research asphalt, my entire airport has been built. So I can't really use it, and I get no benefit from it. Doesn't really explain to you. It took me a long time to figure out how to build the pad because it doesn't explain how the plane comes in and the plane goes out and how the roads have to connect. You have to figure it all out on your own. And if it's costing you money to do it, you're not going to enjoy losing money while trying to figure out how to play the game. I don't like how it blurs, and I don't like night modes. I don't like those in any games. This is a terminal where everyone comes in, they're supposed to go to the desk and the baggage claim. None of it really works. I've seen people in here, but for the most part it just doesn't work, which is why it's empty. And the reason why it's built funny is because you don't know how you're supposed to build it, and you can't know until after you build it. Like, I didn't know that you can't build it up against the road, because then you can't put in the gate or the baggage ramp. So that's why I had to build it really weird. I had to add this extension so I could put the terminal entrance. A lot of these buildings, you're not going to know what they do. To use the example, the tower, I built a couple of them because I got lots of money, but what does it really do? And then there's like a weather building, and then there's a radar thing, and it doesn't say what it does. Why am I building it? What's the purpose for it? I do like the game. Over here I built 3 towers just because I have tons of money. But it doesn't say, it says like, okay, so I guess it has a maximum number of operations and things like that. But it's irrelevant because you reach the maximum so early that you cannot build a very complex airport. Another example is I've got this building over here that nobody can use. If you use the automated system to link buildings, they'll never connect to it, and you don't know this until after you learn the hard way that you got to position your support buildings in a certain place. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of work assigning them all, and essentially this guy is never going to do anything. This building needs to be destroyed because it really can't be used. This is a gate. It says remote gate. It doesn't really explain what a remote gate is. You don't know how it works. I just assume that you put it next to the ramp where the planes park, and I guess, I don't know if it connects to the terminal. I have no idea. Like, these baggage ramps go direct to the terminals, but what about all these other terminals over here? That's the only baggage ramp. How come this is not connected to all these other pads? It doesn't make sense. Hard to understand. There's a lot of graphs in the game. Things like buying fuel, it's not explained well enough. The game slows down a little bit. I liked playing it. I spent about a week playing it. I bought it on sale. I paid around $10 or $12. Normal price is around $22, I think. The game is worth it. I do like the game. And airplanes in airport, 50 out of 50. Wonder what that means. I think they need to do a little bit more development. They should have an option to get rid of the night mode, definitely. I wish it ran a little bit faster. I have a laptop. It's actually a fast laptop, but the graphics is only so fast. One of the issues is you'll have a lot of planes, and it will say, okay, you can land a plane, and there'll be 20 to pick from. And you've got pads to land all 20 of them, but it won't let you. So it's a lot of learning. And normally you'd say, well, start over, build it right the second time. But I've already maxed out all the contracts and maxed out all the pads, so why do it over again? I think it's got a little bit of room to grow. They gotta do a little bit of development into the game to make it a little bit more fun. One of the things that'll happen is if there's a plane on the pad and it needs something like the shuttle bus to get there, it'll sit there all day long. And I'm sure it happens in the real world, but you really won't know why, and it takes you a long time to figure out how to get rid of it. The good news is the game is not catastrophic. I am playing the sandbox mode. So if you make a mistake, the planes eventually will all leave, and next day you get another chance to start over again. So you really don't have a goal in mind. Like, where am I headed? At some point, you're going to have all your operations perfect. So I wish those features were added. I did do the sandbox because I don't have time to play video games. I think you will enjoy playing this game. You're probably going to want to need a modern graphics card. Laptop, I have to play with minimum graphics. And I have 4 runways. I like the fact that the small planes use a small runway. I think the game is fun. I do recommend it. There's no competitors that are identical that have the 3D graphics. There is one called like Airport CEO, which is 2-dimensional. I do like the game. I wish there were more tycoon games like this. They do make updates. I have an update since I bought the game earlier this month. And I would definitely recommend, if you see it for $10, get it for $10. It's not an advanced game. And it's not a beginner game. It's intermediate. By advanced game, I'm talking about something like Civilization, where it has so many things that will take you forever to learn. You'll figure out the game in a week. With a game like Civilization, it could take you a couple weeks and you're still learning new things about the game. I will post tips in my discussion forum at cheapbooks.cc. Look under business management sims or under airline management games or whatever. And I am the owner of cheapbooks.com, which is a website for searching for books and textbooks. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.